Welcome to Behind the Sign podcast. It's your girl Shawnte, the Realtor, and
Courtney here to give you all the details about what goes on behind the sign.
Behind the sign, yeah. We see the glossy frame, but we're shifting the lens. Where the hustle starts and the blueprint begins. Two agents, one mission, keeping it real. The soul of the story, the heart of the deal. Real conversations behind the sign.
And today we're on episode number 6, where we're going to be talking about all the upfront costs that realtors incur before we can even do business. Okay?
yes.
A lot of fees. So we're going to hit 3 big topics, 3 big points, so that you guys can get a glimpse in the life of a realtor.
Yes. So many deets, so much to talk about. And we're going to go ahead and just get on right into it.
Yeah. And we're going to keep it real with y'all.
Keeping it 100. So the first topic we want to talk about is the fees of being a realtor and doing business. So here's the thing. When you decide you want to be a fabulous realtor in whatever city and state of your choice, it's exciting, but it's not cheap. There are fees that come with you saying yes to becoming a self-employed entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
So you have to remember that becoming a real estate agent, although can seem very glamorous, comes with a lot of fees. And that just starts with you just saying yes. You know, you're going to have to, outside of you paying for the normal stuff, school and fingerprints and all of the pre-work, once you actually pass the test and become a licensed agent, you're going to have to pay your HAR fees. For here, HAR is for Houston. And the thing is, that's not cheap. You know, that's a big bill, upfront cost that you have to pay for them to actually give you the stamp of approval to be a licensed agent in the city. So you're going to have to pay that fee. MLS fees as well. That's a quarterly fee that's going to hit you on the first, like clockwork. They do not ask you, are you ready? It's just like, oh, April 1st just passed, right? Cha-ching. Yep. They ain't asked. They sent me a notification saying, guess what? Your fees is coming up.
And it's an automatic thing. It is an automatic thing. And let's not be modest here. It's not just $50 or $100. Our annual fees are $600 a year. Okay. Our quarterly fees are about $115 every quarter. Let's talk about monthly fees. These fees come around just like your rent and your mortgage. And guess what? Whether we're getting paid or not, those fees come out every single month. We have to pay an agent bill to be housed, to keep our license with the broker. We have to pay for a Supra so that we can have the keys to the city. So these fees are fees that, like Shawnte said, they come around like clockwork, and we don't have a choice but to pay this to stay in business. So guys, I want you to want you to hear this. Give your realtor a break, because it's just like any other business. And, we can talk about people asking for discounts, or people saying, well, hey, can you do it for this? Or hey, can you do it for that? I want y'all to keep in mind that just like any other business, a hairstylist, a photographer, whoever has their own business, real estate is truly a business. This is not a job. And so to have a business, you have to have money to start up, and you have to have money to stay in business.
Very true.
Facts.
You know, when I first got my license, there were many brokers that spoke with us. And one of the things they would always say is you need to have some type of reserves in the bank, or a good partner that's going to allow for you to be able to grow your business, because you can't just go out and do all this stuff. You can. It's a lot of sweat equity, but you're going to spend a lot of money up front. And even just getting your license and just saying, you get your headshots, which, we'll move right on over because we can start talking about cha-ching, but the first one was the fees.
Yep.
But moving on over to client costs, this is for buyers and sellers. When we have clients, there are fees that come along with us just doing business.
Upfront.
Before
we get paid.
Client costs. There is a lot of money that we're going to spend upfront, as she mentioned, before we get paid. And the thing is, we want to point that out for you to know is that I don't want to say we're working for free,
but we're
working for free.
Because the reality is that, you know, from a listing standpoint, we have photography, we have staging. We may want to help the client get the house clean. We may want to help with yard work. We have all these different things. We have open houses for listings. You have gas when you're traveling for your buyer, so on and so forth. And one of the things that I really, really want to stress on is we don't get paid until we get to the closing table. But guess what? Sometimes deals fall through. That's what people don't realize. We can get under contract and we can get under contract and be out of contract within 2 weeks. We can get under contract and we can get 3 days before closing and the deal falls through.
Yeah.
We can't account for our money until we are at that table signing papers.
And it's done.
So we may have spent $500 on a listing for marketing, or more than that, actually.
Yeah.
For marketing. And then if that deal falls through, that's money we lost. We don't get it back.
None.
We don't get it back.
None. And to be honest, you know, for the most part, I would like to say, because I'm, you know, all about that manifestation and I'm not sending bad energy my way.
Absolutely.
You know, so if we under contract, we definitely planning to close.
For sure.
However, to her point, it has happened to us all.
Things have happened.
Where you're under contract and it doesn't close, or you have a house and it doesn't sell. That's not the goal. That's money that you will never get back. That's time you will never get back. And that's the reality of this business. So we're not saying it to be like, you just have to know. You just have to keep a positive attitude. Just know that it's gonna be, you gotta be in the trenches and just be ready for whatever comes your way. But it has to get done. You don't wanna go the cheap route and not take pictures with your phone. That's a no. That's a no.
It's a no.
No. You know, we need to, if we're professional, we have to be professional across the board. So it's a lot of fees that are going to come into play, and every situation is different because every client is different, a different client, and every home is a different home. So no deal is the same, and we have to work through all this and that. So sometimes you might spend more money on one situation than the other, and it really just depends.
Right. So it's definitely a fact. And we just want to make sure that you guys do understand that there is, we always say, a cost to doing business.
Cost of doing business.
So going back to the point of maybe people asking for a discount or saying, well, hey, can you list it for this price or whatever? You know, we always want to make sure that it's a win-win for our clients, and also that you are getting exactly what you want. And so, you know, it's all about strategy, right? And even with the upfront costs and things that we have, like, you know, as Shawnte stated earlier, real estate can appear to be a very glamorous life. And while there's no ceiling on real estate, and, you know, we do have all these things going on, you have to be very, very, very smart and strategic about the money that you even do have in. Like, we don't just get this big $10,000 commission check or $20,000 or how much ever it is and be like, oh, we balling out of control, shots for everybody or whatever.
You broke.
It's not like that. You're broke. There's still things you have to pay the IRS. You have to make sure you put some money in savings. You have to make sure that you account for your business budget for that month. What are you spending on your business for that month? So it's not just raining money out of the sky. Again, this is a business, and it is a cost to doing business.
Definitely. Okay? And to close out, even just on this topic alone, to break down the cost of doing business, they always say you're going to take 30% and put that to marketing, 30% and put that to cost of doing business, and you live off of 40%. So just think of 100,000. If you just make 100,000, you're really living off of 40.
And do y'all know how expensive it is out here to live?
Blank,
Food, gas,
blank.
I mean, just so it's a great life. We don't want to, again, scare anybody who wants to get into real estate, or even, you know, our potential clients or people that are out here looking at the podcast to be discouraged in any way. We just, you know, this podcast is all about keeping it real and raw.
Yeah.
And we just want to let y'all know, like, you know, we struggle just like everybody else. Yeah. And the market is not always sunshine and rainbows. I always like to tell, you know, clients or anybody that's coming into this business is when the business is good, it's good, but you still have to be smart about it.
Gotta be
but
smart.
When it's not, and when the market shifts and when things happen, you know, we all biting our fingernails too. Like, okay, well, what we gonna do? Like, let's make sure we do this. Let's make sure we do that. So yeah, it'll definitely eat you up. Right?
It will. It totally will, you know, and again, this is just really about awareness, you know, awareness about what's real and what's not. And we do love it. You know, there are obviously other great perks about being a realtor and the flexibility. But even with that alone, flexibility is, we are a lot of places, a lot of times, everywhere, all day. We work long hours many times, and we work on weekends.
And you're your own boss. So nobody's going to tell you to get up and make your calls and go show a house or put a house on the market. Like, you're your own boss. You're the one that makes the rules, makes the schedule. So technically you determine your money.
You do.
By how much you're going to put in, how much work you're going to put in, and you determine that. So.
You totally do. And you have to show up for you. You have to show up for your business. And just like we've been very consistent on doing our property tours every week, we've added this podcast to something that we do as well, because we're committed to what we say we want to do to our clients, to our business. Because if you don't show up for you, I need for you to know and understand that no one else is going to show up for you.
You're your savior.
It's you.
So let's go ahead and wrap it up to the last topic on fees. We talk about, I mean, and this kind of goes hand in hand with some other things that we've talked about as far as business costs. Other things that us as realtors, we have to take into consideration. We have to buy Supras, which is those little nice little boxes that we put on your door for keys and for people to have access to. That's a cost. We have to purchase signs for marketing to put in the yard. That's a cost. You know, talking about the pictures again, that's a cost. Paperwork, transaction coordinators. You know, once you get to a certain level in your business and you're a little bit busier and you want to make sure that you're investing that time into your business, you may need to enlist some help, right? You want to start scaling your business. So you may need to hire someone to come on and deal with the paperwork side of things.
And let's just talk about transaction coordinator and adding on, because I do have a transaction coordinator. Yay. Hey, girl. And that's per transaction. So if you have 5 deals,
it's a fee.
You're going to pay that fee per transaction. Times 5. E&O insurance. That's per transaction, not per month, per transaction. So, and for leases as well as for sale, you know, same thing. If you're doing 30, 40, 50 deals, you're going to pay E&O 50 times.
Yeah.
That's how that goes. So
we don't take every single penny home. Like, it's good. And again, real estate has no ceiling. So we want you to know that you can make money in this business, but there is a cost to doing business.
Cost of doing business.
Yeah. And one of the things that, you know, I'll say also, I decided to hire an admin, an assistant this past year. There's a cost to that. Like, once you start really adding people onto your team, that's a business. So I calculated, you know, for the upcoming taxes and calculated how much I paid out. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't feel like I made that much to really, you know, pay for this admin, but also it did help my business in a lot of ways in terms of being able to focus on certain things and giving certain duties to the admin. Same thing with transaction coordination. and things like that. And so regardless of whether I closed the deal that month, my admin still had to get paid. So again, it's the fees, it's the upfront costs, and we just be out here on a wing and a prayer. Listen.
Hello. I mean, and the thing is too, as you continue to grow your business, you're going to need leverage.
You have to.
And leverage is not free. Leverage is a cost, but you just want to choose the right leverage tools and people to help your business go here to here.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen. It's levels to it, but it's going to happen. And, my videographer, Cole. And if you cold like that, you probably got to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? So, which is all good, but at the same time, the more you continue to grow your business, we didn't even cover CE classes.
No.
It costs money to keep
your license.
To keep your license. Now granted, some of the CE classes we can get for free. Yeah. But then they have different training programs. A lot of, there's something Keller Williams offer called Bold. Mm-hmm. Typically that course is 6 weeks and it's $800. There's other courses.
Certifications.
Yeah. They're like $400, $500. Yeah. There's so many courses and you can ask yourself, well, I don't need that. Well, you put yourself at risk to be behind of knowing what top agents are doing, knowing how to get new business, knowing all the things.
And also growing yourself. Once you start getting into certifications, becoming a certified specialist as a buyer's agent, a certified specialist in luxury, a certified specialist in short sales and foreclosures, that is a way to grow you as an individual agent. That is a way to set you apart. You start specializing in these different areas, and then you have a niche that you can, utilize that maybe someone else doesn't have. So It costs to get those certifications. It's not free.
It costs. And the thing is, you want to pour into your business, though. Yeah. I mean, all in all, we are talking about upfront costs to being an agent and a real estate professional. And we just want you to be aware of what that actually looks like. But it's stuff that's needed. You can kind of go thin and light on certain things. But at the end of the day, you do have to pour into your business because guess what? It's a business. We're running a real live business. I live by a calendar. I check my calendar every single day.
Every day.
We know what we need to do. We have accountability calls at 8:30 in the morning. Every morning. I mean, it's things that you have to do because we're running a business here, guys. Yep. I know y'all think we just out here looking cute.
Looking real cute.
Hey.
And they selling houses, they ain't doing no work.
We're like, we hanging out. No.
We be sweating bullets sometimes. Let me just tell you.
We have a full day.
It's not pretty in these streets. It's not.
We have a full day that we have to commit.
Yeah.
And then even after we do that, we still have a family. Mm-hmm. We still kids to pick up, things to do, drop off, do this, all the things. Yep. And still go back out after we do that, show more houses, meet with more clients, do more follow-ups,
put out more fires.
Hey, we sending emails at 11:30 at night.
Yeah. And also preparing for things like the podcast, the content. We have to arrange our schedules and say, well, hey, where are we going to shoot at? Or, hey, what's the topic for the day? And making sure that we write this down. And one of my favorite phrases is, you're not going to be prepared. You got to stay prepared to be prepared at the end of the day.
Yep.
You have to stay prepared to be prepared. And if you don't, then you miss out on opportunities that literally could be sitting right in front of you. So...
And opportunity is knocking, actually. Yeah. Believe it or not, the more that you do all of these different things, it all comes together. And then the opportunity all of a sudden feels like it's knocking at your door, but it's not just knocking. You presented that to come to your door. Right. You set yourself up for people to even come to you. I mean, there are people that are probably watching this podcast and like, hey, I will plug into them, figure out what they have going on, and we might help you today, 5 years from now.
Yep.
We never know. But it matters of what you do today that's going to change your tomorrow.
100% agreed.
Yes.
So do you think we gave the people enough to kind of have an idea of
We gave them
what
enough.
it looks like in real estate.
We don't want to scare you away because it is a great industry. Obviously, we would not take out the time out of our day to even do this, sit down, do a podcast, do content every week, because at the end of the day, our job is I'm filled with so much gratitude when we help our clients go through different phases in their life. Some are either going through a positive phase, some might not be so positive. Either way, we're there with them. And we as professionals must be prepared, must stay on our A game to get us to the next level. And, we just have to plan ahead, keep our fees tight and right for us to do what we need to do to help you guys be great.
That's right. And when we get to the finish line, every single thing was worth it.
Definitely.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us on episode number 6, where we talked about upfront costs for realtors. So make sure you do what?
Click, like, subscribe, follow us, share this podcast with anyone that you can think of will benefit from this.
All right. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Behind the sign, yeah. We see the glossy frame, but we're shifting the lens. Where the hustle starts and the blueprint begins. 2 agents, 1 mission, keeping it real. The soul of the story, the heart of the deal. Real conversations behind the sign.